Okay, so hi, my name is Solaf, and this is Amir.
Hi guys.
So what's your name?
Okay, so I'm Lisa Cobble.
What is your job?
Okay, I work for GE Power and I own a global engineering quotation process.
That's nice.
What is involved in your job?
Okay, so in my day job, I have to manage the system, the whole system, and the process around it. So engineers supply quotations to the commercial team, and so it's a bit of a workflow process where the commercial team or the sales team will ask for a quote for some scope that we're going to sell to a power station because we sell parts to extend the life of a power station. So we have to make sure that that whole IT system works and it brings in the right data and it sends it to the right people. So I own that piece and also help out on the order conversion perspective as well to make sure that they get into execution when we win an order.
Okay.
What did you choose this career, or how did you end up in this career?
Okay, so when I was at school, I wanted to be a draftsman, so I wanted to be the person that drew all of the engineered parts and things. And so I did my work experience at the company I work for now. I did a City and Guilds engineering drawing course on my work experience, and then I went straight back there as soon as I'd finished my GCSEs. So I had to get a certain amount of GCSEs, and then I went straight back there to do a modern apprenticeship, and that involved 4 years of training. So I had to work on the machines at the start and do lots of different training. But then since then I've moved through different parts of the business and I don't want to be a draftsman anymore.
When you started your job, is there anything that surprised you?
Yes, actually quite a lot. We make steam turbines on the site that I started on, and the size of the steam turbines, they actually sit inside as a power station. So when you turn on your lights, the electricity comes from power stations, right? And the the electricity comes from what we say big kettle with windmills in it. You boil a boiler and send the steam through a turbine which spins, a bit like when you blow a windmill, it spins, and then at the end the spinning motion is collected by something called a generator, and that's where the electricity is made, and that comes to you. So we made the steam turbines part, where I come from, and it was that the size of those machines and how detailed they are and how tiny clearances there are between the different parts that have to move to keep the machine to be efficient. So it was really, really eye-opening to see just how you can machine metal and make it do that. It was amazing.
Yeah.
What is the skills and qualities needed to do your job?
Okay, so for my job, I need to be able to have, at the very basics, I had GCSEs to do my apprenticeship, which meant I had to have science, maths, English, and I can't remember the other one, but there was at least four that I had to have as a base at level C, and then others were good to help get me through into that starting position as an apprentice.
That's nice. Like, there's lots of surprising things in your job.
Yeah, I think the other thing that's surprising is that the base level of knowledge in engineering actually takes you to all sorts of different places as well.
That's really good. What has been in your career journey?
So I did my apprenticeship, and then that was around 3.5 years, and I came out of that into a mechanical lab where I went to power stations and measured the vibration of the steam turbines. So it was when you've got steam turbines and a generator, you've got the joins for each part, which was called a bearing, and we'd measure the vibration on the bearings all the way along the machine so we could see what the machine was doing, if it was going to break or it would shake itself to bits. That's the vibration part. And then all the way around the machine we would measure the noise as well that was being emitted by the machine, because you normally guarantee that it's not going to go too high so it won't damage the hearing of people in the power station as well.
When you started your job, did you feel like it was hard, or did it come
Yes.
easy for you?
No, it's always a challenge. And that's the part that excited me the most about my job, that I could always have something new to learn. And even though when you start, maybe I'm more academic than physical normally. So when I was on the machines, it was a lot more difficult for me because I'm much better at words and written things. So yeah, the academic side of it was good, but the practical side was different. And I think I probably enjoyed it more because I pushed myself harder out of my comfort zone.
That's good. What are the advantages of your career or your position within your career?
Okay, so the advantages for me now, I see that I am able to support a global process. So I get to work with people from all over the world, different time zones. So it goes right from China at the start of the day right through to the end of the day in the US, for example. I enjoy the fact that I help to change people's working processes, improve the way they work. And I have a natural need to help people and support people. So that's another part of my role that I really enjoy.
That's good. That's nice.
What drove you to be engineering and encouragement?
Okay, so my granddad was a draftsman at a company called Parsons, which is eventually Siemens, I believe, in Newcastle. So they made steam turbines too, and he drew them. So that's what I wanted to do, and that's what made me go there in the first place. I also had the opportunity when I was at school to do something called a Girls and Technician Engineering Conference. So I took a week out of school. I nearly said work. A week out of school, and I went to Jaguar Land Rover Test Centre, which is not far from here. And I also went to the company I work for now and Coventry University, and we saw all sorts of different types of engineering, and we got to do different STEM activities, so building bridges and things like that as well, just to, like I said, it was just for girls, so it was really to open up girls' eyes and see that there's more out there to do when you leave school. It was great.
That's so good. What are the marks needed in your GCSE so you can get a better job in the high level?
Okay, so I did, as I said, I came in with GCSEs, and you had to have C or above in the core GCSEs, the science, maths, and English. And I think I had double science, so that counted as the 4. But I actually did do extra. I did a German and a German GCSEs in my spare time. So I got the German, I did French and art and design technology and all of those as well. I really enjoyed a lot of what I did at school. The qualifications I've gained since I joined my company is it's called an Ordinary National Certificate in Engineering, and then I did a Higher National Diploma, HND, in I can't think it was technical services. I can't remember the title. And then finally, since I've left my my apprenticeship and gone into different jobs, I was sponsored as well to do a master's degree in engineering business management. So they're the official qualifications I've got. And I've also moved through jobs in business improvement. And so I became a Lean Six Sigma black belt as well.
That's good.
Do you do any course or partnership at school?
I actually support a STEM activity at my site. So the whole of GE, where I work, GE Power, in the UK, we've got a big program working with schools, colleges, universities for STEM. So it's a big program. I'm registered as a STEM ambassador as well for STEM learning. And between all of that connection, then yes, I go back into schools and I help promote engineering as a subject, but also the science, technology, engineering, and maths that all are involved in a lot of what we do every day. And so just to try and make children and young adults think a bit more about where they go with their career, and that yes, everything is engineered, and there's a lot more to do within that topic.
What has been your career journey?
So I left my apprenticeship. I went into the labs and did some work there, but unfortunately there was a change in the organisation, and so I had to move roles, and I went into project management. So I was sending great big containers of pipes and supports and things out to a power plant in China. So that was a project management role, and then I moved again into a services part of the business where we were. It's similar to what I do now. They were retrofitting and changing out certain parts of the steam turbines. So I've done a lot of sales work there, helping to build proposals. and then also I moved into project management. In between there, I've done some IT project management and some knowledge management roles and business improvement. But now I've gone back to the sales support role. I'm now in a global role for doing that.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
If I want to get into the profession you have chosen, what would be its best approach?
Okay, there's a few approaches. There's one where you can go down the apprentice route where you get all of the practical knowledge and you do education and in an academic setting at the same time. So you're balanced and you will get paid doing an apprenticeship as well. That was the other advantage for me. But if you go down an academic route, you can still go through school, do your GCSEs, do A levels, and then go to university and do engineering degrees and come in as what we call a graduate into a different program. So they're the two routes in from school, essentially.
That's good. Are you happy with your job, or would you like to change it?
I'm happy with my job. I really enjoy my job. I like the fact that I've got the ability to do the STEM piece as well, so I can volunteer and give back to the business, but also try and encourage other people like you to join something different when you leave school. We've also got in GE, we've got a program called STEM Together. And so because of the current situation we're in, where we're all at home and we all can't get out to schools and support that way, then it's this hashtag STEM Together. You can log on there and take part in different activities. So you can do small activities at home or take part in projects as well. And it's a way of our company being able to still support from a STEM aspect. I know there's a lot of other companies doing exactly the same to try and help keep on that STEM support.
Yeah. Your job sounds really fun. I could be like you one day.
I would love to see that.
What is the importance of your job?
Of getting a job.
Oh, of getting a job. Okay. I think for me, the importance of getting a job was being able to earn some money, to be able to live. If you think about the needs that you need to have warmth and a roof over your head and be able to feed yourself. So I needed money for that. But the bigger reason was I was able to use my skills to help the world in one form or another. So you're able to make a difference. And I think if you use your strengths, the things you're really good at and you really love, you find something that you're passionate about, then it ends up not really feeling like a job. You end up doing so much and the day goes past really quickly because you are being fulfilled in what you do. So it makes you happy. And I really enjoy that part of my job.
That's nice. When you were young, what was your dream job?
Oh, good question. I wanted to either be a lawyer, which I would never have been good at. I wanted to be a lawyer or an archaeologist. Totally different things. But either way, I had some idea of what I wanted to do. Is definitely not what I've turned out to be. I think that's a
But
good lesson. Sorry, say that again.
You turned out to become something better, like.
Thank you. Thank you.
What do you do during your school? Like any partnership or your additional course?
Yeah, so I've been studying outside of my day job, so I get access to different training courses inside GE, but I've also done extras for myself because I like to coach people, and so I'm working on training myself for being a life coach, being a career coach, and also looking at what we call neuro-linguistic programming. And I've actually just started doing social media marketing, so everything is massively different, but it's all good fun, and it keeps me learning every day.
That's nice. What grade did you start making notes and studying more harder so you can become better when you grow up?
I honestly probably worked quite hard all the time at school. I know there's a phrase in England called "you're a SWAT," which means you work hard, lots of loads, and you don't mess about. I was always seen as somebody that everybody else in the class wanted to copy from because I was such a hard worker. But it's paid off for me because I know now that I did my best then to be able to be my best now, and I think that's a good lesson too.
That's nice.
What do you advise us?
For your job, I would suggest that you work hard at school because it gives you a good option. You know, if you're good at all of the topics that you're studying, it gives you a wide range of options when you leave. But also you get to learn which bits you like and which bits you don't like. And I would strongly suggest that you pick something that plays to your strengths, that you are really excited about and you would want to do every day, whether you got paid for it or not.
What are the branches in engineering?
Okay, so let's think about a car for engineering. When you're in the car, you're sitting on a seat, and that's largely materials because you've got different materials on the seat, etc. Clearly, you have some mechanical engineering to form the seat, but you've also got it in the engine. You may even have ergonomic engineering, which is the study of how our form is, so that it would support you. You've got the computers that control the car, so it's software engineering, and then the fuel with chemical engineering, materials engineering also in the wheels, etc. as well, and the body of the car. You can have aerodynamics engineering for the streamline of how it gets through the air. And then if you think where the car goes on the roads and bridges and things, then that's related more to civil and structural engineering as well. So there's lots and lots of different smaller branches of that too. I've got colleagues in the healthcare side of GE who also do a lot of biochemistry, etc. as well, which could also be engineering.
That's nice. My brother really likes engineering cars. Like, he has lots of cars at home. He makes shows with them and like in movies or something like that.
Oh, brilliant. So what kind of things excite you the most about cars?
Designing.
Say that
He
again.
likes designing.
Oh, designing the cars. Brilliant. And so you might design the aerodynamics of the car, or what do you think more, the engine? Which piece do you like the best?
He likes them all.
That's fair. That's really good. So you could look at being an engineer related to cars somehow. There's lots, as we talked about, there's lots of different parts of engineering in a car.
So like the most important thing in your job is like, like working with others, have conversation between you guys. So like,
Yeah, the important part for me is that my process works and that the people who are using it are not having too much of a problem with it. So I do often have, there's bugs in the system and things don't quite work. You know what technology's like. So it is hard sometimes to make sure that the systems are aligned and nothing's happening or bugs haven't happened. But also that people remember how they're actually supposed to use it in the first place. So whenever we do have issues, then we have to talk to each other and communicate what those problems are. I have to listen to them and make sure I've made good notes and screenshots and captured everything. And then we go to the IT team, we work on how to fix it, and then we'll have to go back and test it with that user and ourselves, make sure we're good, and then we train everybody else in the world for the fix.
okay. Thank you so much for your time, for your encouragement. I learned so much from you. I got lots of information that I can use them in my future.
It's brilliant. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed speaking to you both. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
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 Bye.